All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Terence Crawford and a move that is rumored that he's considering making and may be announced soon with a new promoter for him that may or may not make the Errol Spence Jr. fight easier to make. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we are once again in the welterweight division talking about Terence Crawford, who is one of the best fighters in the world, pound for pound #1 fighter in my book, and what his next potential move might be now that he is not signed with Top Rank. He is clearly should be the most recruited guy in boxing, but unfortunately it didn't look like that was the case when you listen to some of the promoters talk. But it seems as if, according to if my sources are saying are true, which they said that they're hearing is not a done deal, is not a for sure thing. But honestly, if you look at it, it looks like about the most reasonable thing to take place, and that is he could be signing with a new promotional company called Probellum, who is really blowing up in the boxing world and is signing a lot of people, investing a lot of money. And it's also an organization that he is already indirectly connected to through the founder of Probellum. At least that's what people are saying that Daniel Kinahan is, the founder of Probellum, a promotional company who just today was also announced that they cut a partnership with Bellum out of the city of New York, former head of programming for HBO. Big time guys and a lot of other fighters that these guys are signing. You keep hearing about them signing more and more fighters. One guy that they signed recently was Regis Prograis, who's fighting over on an undercard. I can't remember whose undercard he's fighting on under. I think it's maybe the Sonny Edwards undercard going on over in somewhere in the Middle East. And my understanding is that they pitched Terence Crawford, and that Terence Crawford is seriously considering that option, and it is the most likely option for him as a, if he's going to sign, to a promoter in the welterweight division. And, for me, I don't quite know which way to take that. First, I've known for a while that, that he was that this was going to be an option for him. If you remember, he had gone to the United Arab Emirates or whatever for some type of convention. He was there with Regis Prograis in the Middle East. He was with Josh Taylor in the Middle East, and shortly thereafter, Regis Prograis signed with Probellum. You've also heard Terence Crawford say, that he's not signing with Al Heyman. He's not signing with or dealing with Bob Arum. Eddie Hearn himself said that he was not looking for a spot for Terence Crawford. He didn't know what he would be able to offer Terence Crawford. So with all of those type of situations going on, the question is, who is going to sign Terence Crawford? What is he going to, where is he going to wind up? And the entire time before somebody told me this, I was thinking, man, it seems like Probellum might wind up being where the guy is because he's advised by Daniel Kinahan. At least that's what the rumor has been, but a very well-established rumor that he's been associated with Daniel Kinahan. Daniel Kinahan is the founder of MTK Global, who's no longer involved with MTK Global, but has been expanding his footprint in boxing. For them to get a young promotional company like that, to get Terence Crawford, would be a very, very big acquisition for them, because he would be the bellwether fighter for that promotional company and somebody that they very well may be willing to invest money in to make sure that, some of these fights get done. Daniel Kinahan, from my understanding, is very cash rich and it definitely has the ability to make big fights and to make negotiations take place. So, it very well may be that is the situation. Now, what could that mean for the fights that take place? I think that just off the cuff, I would think that it would make it more likely that some of these big fights can happen, because if he has a promoter that really believes in him, and a promoter that is willing to take the financial risk for those fights to happen, right? So take, for example, if he's trying to make the Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. fight, and Probellum is like, hey, we want to make that fight. We'd be willing to, to upfront, some of the guaranteed money, or pay the guaranteed money for Terence Crawford. And if the fight winds up not making him money, we could potentially take a loss on it, but we're willing, to make up, whatever type of guarantee money might be missed from the networks, right? So that could increase that fight. Also, I know that they've got a good relationship, or at least they should have a good relationship with MTK Global, the management company that represents Josh Taylor. If Josh Taylor was to move up to 140 pounds, they may be willing to do that and have the ends to get that done. So, I wouldn't say that it is a good thing or a bad thing off of cuff, right? If it happens, but I don't think that, well, let me put it this way. I can't say whether it's going to be a great thing or not, but I don't think it's a bad situation, especially since right now it doesn't seem like any of the other promotional relationships, with the big promoters are going to work out for Terence Crawford. Very hard to see him going back to Bob Arum when he's in the middle of a lawsuit with Bob Arum, claiming that Bob Arum did not promote him correctly, right? And again, Eddie Hearn doesn't have any welterweights, and also does not have a lot of money to invest in those fights, because he's already in, neck deep with fighters like Devin Haney and other guys that are getting big paychecks on DAZN. And the fact that DAZN, the network themselves, said that they were not really looking at investing a lot of money in American boxing. So I doubt if he was going to, if promoters like some of the smaller promoters like Main Events or anybody like that really has the bandwidth, to put the money up to try to get and invest into getting these big fights done with Terence Crawford. So, all in all, man, it may be a good move, man. And a smart move by Terence Crawford. He's been doing different things. He did sign with a managerial company. I believe I forget the name of the managerial company, but I think the managerial company is out of Europe as well, right? So, it just may fit into what he's trying to do. And like I said, if they're going to make him big, if they're going to give him, if they're going to be willing to invest in Terence Crawford to make that big Errol Spence Jr. fight happen, feeling like if he wins that, then they've got, an undisputed champion at 147 and other big fights that they can make, so be it, man. I don't have a problem with it. Now, some people are going to say that if he did that, he would be dealing with a bad guy in Kinahan and all of this stuff that goes with that. Look, man, this is a boxing channel. I'm not going to get into world politics or guess or, about what type of affiliations other promoters and other organizations can have, because I hear all kind of things about a lot of people being involved in a lot of stuff that it could be considered untoward. But if this is the direction that Terence Crawford goes, do not have a problem with it. Just, hopefully it'll take a step towards getting us the Errol Spence Jr. fight, or getting us a Jermall Charlo, or getting something that's a big fight for Terence Crawford, where Terence Crawford can get what he deserves. Proper promotion as being one of the best fighters in the world. But anyway, that's my take on the situation. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.